I led the delegation to Europe, which had people both from the Labour and the National Party, and we worked together really well in the interests of New Zealand.
Starting in Crete, it was really significant, I think, to understand the importance of the New Zealand troops there in World War II, and also understand the really deep and meaningful connection that the people of Crete still have with us, and the ceremonies that we went to were really deeply moving.
The highlight really in Crete was meeting a 95-year-old woman who had been 14 years old during World War II, who gave us a big hug and thanked us. They all remember the Maori battalion, they all remember the New Zealand soldiers. They're very grateful for what we did 81 years ago.
It was a really bad time for Crete, and the Kiwis were there for them. They really valued the fact that we still cared enough to send a senior delegation of parliamentarians. We were very, very well received.
One of the great things in Dublin is that they have embraced technology and science. Just the way that they have turned their economy around from being solely based on agriculture and tourism to now agriculture, tourism and an enormous tech industry.
Ireland is the country that has a high methane profile like New Zealand, and it is more pasture based than most of the other countries we went to. So for us there's a great collaboration opportunity, and not just with agricultural answers but with technology in general, so we have a lot in common.
We had some intense discussions with people about security and terrorism issues in Rome. It was good to learn not only the systems that they used but how they tactically responded.
It was amazing all the way through these places we went. We met the strongest, most interesting women in leadership. So for me personally, I got so much out of that experience.
It was really interesting in Rome to leave Rome and go and visit a kiwi fruit orchard and to see the partnering that Zespri has done with Italian farmers to be able to grow New Zealand kiwi fruit in Italy, so that the northern and southern hemisphere working together for the world, and by the way for New Zealand, is a great thing.
It was a real eye-opener to go to Belgium and have a look at the European Parliament, speak to some of the members, including the President, and just try and make some connections around the free trade agreement that's being negotiated right now, and to understand what some of the concerns of the European Parliament members are, and also the Belgian people while we were there as well.
In Warsaw, the most memorable thing was going to the refugee camp and seeing about 7,000 women and children in a place, and knowing that they may never see their fathers or partners again.
And it was actually incredibly warming to see how people had so generously set up wraparound services for people who were going through such a traumatic experience. It was there that people would get counselling, they would get sustenance, they would get identity cards, and they would be able to choose a place in Europe to go.
I thought the Polish people taking actually 3 million refugees from Ukraine is one of the great acts of humanitarianism that we have seen for many, many years.
These trips are so valuable on so many levels. Not only the connections that we build with overseas partners and parliamentarians, businesses and so on, but also just the understanding we get about New Zealand's place in the world and the diverse parliaments that are out there.
I found it really valuable working with people from all parties. We were New Zealand's team of parliamentarians offshore working for the good of the country, and I think that's fantastic.